Here's Johnny.
Oh my god, it's back. The worst racing anime somehow got another season. And yet I'm still here watching it because it's literally the only anime in this season that interests me other than Dun because I like dick. Guys, I'm gonna be real with you. MF Ghost has as much plot as there is beef in a McDonald's hamburger. So we're just gonna talk about the racing in this anime because there is literally nothing else I plan to talk about for the rest of this video. And if I start talking about racing tactics, mechanic stuff, just remember, I am not a professional racing driver, nor am I a professional mechanic. I'm just a random kid who was very, very, very into cars growing up. So if I get anything wrong, just chuck it in the comments. If you also happen to be a pro racing driver, chuck stuff in there as well, if there is any racing drivers watching this. So this series of MF Ghost is focusing on the race in a place called Ashinoko. And well, the music is good, but the rest of it is fucking shit. So let's talk about the obvious stuff first, like lack of safety equipment, which I really went on a rant on in my last video, so definitely check that out. It'll be linked in the description at the end and at the end of this video. Secondly, Kanata's car, the Toyota GT86 being severely underpowered compared to the rest of the competition. It's mentioned that the car has around 200 horsepower, which is considerably low compared to literally everybody else in the race. To give Kanata the benefit of the doubt though, the car is light, weighing in around 100 kilograms lighter than Michael Beckenbauer's Porsche. But still, 100 kg ain't gonna make much of a difference when you're racing a Ferrari 488 GTB, which has the power of like 3 of those GT86s and weighs around 1.5 GT86s. Next, Kanata's rallying, aka drifting his way through the death zone, does make a lot of sense because there is stuff on the road making it more loose, causing him to potentially understeer if he was to do it normally. So using drifting or controlled oversteer can help with this, since this is what literally rally cars do. And after all, Kanata was trained by Takumi Fujiwara, who in the story canonically became a rally driver. Okay, so MFG running the race in the rain is very normal for motorsports, since in motorsports, if it does start raining before the race or during a race, typically the cars would pit, switch over to rain tyres and continue on with the race. However, in MFG, it is stated that they're using all-weather tyres, which are good in the rain, but after a certain speed won't disperse enough water to keep contact with the road and will cause something called hydroplaning, which is where there is too much water between the surface of the tyre and the surface of the road, causing it to basically lose grip and spin out, which is why you're typically taught on your driving test or in driving theory that, you know, don't go fast in the rain. And typically, if there is too much rain and or the fog is too thick, the race will be put on hold to prevent accidents. But NFG just loves putting their drivers in danger and sending them going barreling at high speeds into a foggy zone, which is where the fog is extremely fucking thick. And if you want to race full speed through that, you must be on crack or you just want to die. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the crashes that happened in MF Ghost in this particular race. And right now, I'm not counting that Lotus that spun out because he managed to recover it. And also, as of recording, only episode 7 has come out, so we'll be focusing on just the Lamborghini Huracan and the Porsche 911. Firstly, I want to specifically talk about what happened with the Lamborghini, and in order to understand what happened to the Lamborghini, we must use a lot of science. That sounded really dumb. But yeah, anyways, to the science area. I don't know what I called it. Hi, I'm Dr. Speedy, PhD in Internet Retardation and certified animal tester. And today, I'm going to explain to you guys the concepts of understeer and oversteer. So, let's get right into it using this amazing contraption called the understeer and oversteer testicle something. So, firstly, we're going to discuss understeer. Now, understeer is something you never want. So, using my amazing contraption and my Volvo 850 Hot Wheels car, we will now drive towards the obstacle. And Mr. Guy in the car, he's going to engage his steering, but oh no, he's turned all the way in that direction, and his car is barely going there, and he ends up crashing into a tree and gets a VIP ticket to a Juice WRLD concert. Oh shit, I broke it. Right, next is oversteer. Now, oversteer a lot better than understeer because my guy, he's turned his car, but now he's sideways, and now he's backwards, and he's crashed, and now he's dead. Typically, oversteer is preferred because you can use it to drift and create something called controlled oversteer, and do something very cool like that and not die.
So, the Lambo crash is weird because throughout the race, he's constantly understeering, and then at one corner, he's understeering, then suddenly he just oversteers and spins off of the road, and nearly gets a VIP ticket to a Motorhead concert. And now, if this was realistic, he would have just hit the guardrail and that would have been the end of his race. But I'm guessing he had some sort of snap oversteer, kind of not what happens here. So, I'm guessing it's just anime logic. And also, the Porsche crash is probably actually the most realistic by far, because he's like oversteering a bit, then he dings the wall, he gets bounced into the other wall, causing him to spin and lose all of his positions, and also he gets a bit of suspension damage, which means he can't race the race at maximum speed. He has to keep it slow throughout the race.
Okay, so now moving on to the dialogue, which is probably one of the most infuriating things about the anime, because it gets so much stuff about cars just wrong that it drives me up the fucking wall. I'm like that Peter Griffin means like, what really grinds my gears? The entire dialogue in this anime is what it is. So in one line, they call the Audi R8 a 4x4, which the Audi R8 is not a 4x4. It's an all-wheel drive car, kind of like the Nissan GTR and the Lamborghini Huracan. And now, for those who don't know, 4x4 and all-wheel drive are two completely different systems. So, 4x4 is basically kind of like a temporary system, so your car will be driving usually in rear-wheel drive and or front-wheel drive, and then when you need to encounter like mud or the road is just gone, you would activate the 4x4 system by either A, pressing a button, or B, pulling a lever, which is usually on older cars, and then your 4x4 system activates, and then you're able to drive on the mud. All-wheel drive, on the other hand, basically all four wheels are constantly spinning under the power of the car, and then the computer adjusts the power to the wheels, so that way you don't spin out mid-corner. And the three cars that I mentioned earlier all have these all-wheel drive systems, including rally cars, they also have them, and so many more different types of cars have all-wheel drive systems because they're really, really good. And 4x4 systems tend to be used in specifically off-roady cars. See guys, I've come to a realization, if I spent the entire time of this video just talking about the dialogue in the anime, this video would be somewhere around 3 hours long, and I can't be bothered to edit that, so yeah. But moving on from dialogue as well, I was going to say Taylor's shit really just caught me off guard, and that was quite funny. Shit! Okay, now onto the characters of MF Ghost, because they seem to be on a particular spectrum because they're all just badly written. They're either A, autistic as hell for race cars, like Michael Beckenbauer and Kanata being fucking beasts at driving and having zero personality outside that, and then there's also the other side of the spectrum who are just pedophiles. For example, again, Michael Beckenbauer and then Leonardo DiCaprio. Koki Sawatami, who, by the way, literally went on a rant in the first season about only dating girls below 17 years old. So, MF Ghost as a whole, it's a pretty bad anime with the only thing being good about it is the callbacks to Initial D and then the racing scene. So it's not bad, but thankfully not as bad as Jaguar's new rebranding, because that's fucking awful. And I'm still gonna watch MF Ghost because, the racing scenes and the callbacks to Initial D are the things I came here for, and that's really it. That's all I wanted to see. More racing cars in anime, because we barely get car animes. Like, please, animation studios, make more car anime, please. And if you guys want to see me talking about the safety features that were completely wrong in MF Ghost, watch this video here. And if you guys want to support the channel, check out the links in the description. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.